The masculinity, the adrenaline, the testosterone. I have the sudden urge to work out. The tale of the Fast and the Furious franchise will forever go down in cinematic history as an interesting one. Make a film called The Fast and the Furious starring Paul Walker and Vin Diesel. It's pretty good, gets a pretty good audience response. A couple years later they make a sequel, but Vin Diesel didn't want to be in it, poo-poo on that. They bring in another guy. And the second one sucked, it was stupid, it was retarded, so they didn't want to make another one. A couple years later, just to milk off the name, just to make some money, a couple few bucks, they make like almost a completely irrelevant film, a film that has absolutely no relevance to the two other films, except a cameo in the very last scene, and it has cars that race. Slap on the Fast and the Furious name and make the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. My guess is that the actors realized that their careers are going nowhere and they had absolutely nothing to lose but to make another film. So they made Fast and Furious. And for some reason, it made $70 million opening weekend. Which is why they made this one. Now, a part of me can't help but feel sorry for Paul Walker and Vin Diesel having nothing better to do. Like, I do like these films a lot, but, you know, it's not going to do anything for their careers. I'm pretty sure Vin Diesel's going to keep making masterpieces such as Babylon AD. Like, the guy seriously has not been in a movie that was not a Fast and Furious movie since 2008 when he made Babylon AD. Like, what's he been doing? Working out, I suppose. My thoughts on the other films is that the first one's pretty good. It's pretty good. The second one is stupid poop. Third one, surprisingly, I actually really liked. Like, it was so pointlessly made, and especially now that they've made two others. I guess is that the filmmakers kind of regret making it, maybe, but I thought it was really good. Like, in terms of racing, it's probably the best. It's really more focused on racing than the other films, and I really, really like it. It's really entertaining. Fourth film, I thought was awesome. Great action scenes. Good to see the cast back. I really, really enjoyed that one. So my two favorites were the third and fourth, both directed by Justin Lin, so I was excited to hear that this one, this new one, Fast 5, was directed by Justin Lin also. So is this one my new favorite? Probably. I'm not really sure. I really like Tokyo Drift. I really like Fast and Furious. It's kind of a three-way tie, to be honest. That doesn't matter. It's a good film, and you should see it. Seriously, the fans of this franchise are going to poop themselves, and then poop themselves again. Like, this movie delivers absolutely everything you could ever want from a movie like this. I really do applaud the director for knowing that. This movie seriously has it all. It has races, it has heists, it has shootouts, it has fistfights, it has parkour, it has hot chicks, it has fast cars. Cool that they took this movie in more of a heist direction. It's kind of like Ocean's 11 meets Fast and Furious. No, it's not just all about action. I do like these characters. I like how, you know, they're bad guys, but they're likable. They're good guys to us. They have good chemistry. I'm glad to see Paul Walker and Vin Diesel back together. It's cool that this film brought back a bunch of characters from other Fast and Furious films, as Tyrese and Ludacris from Too Fast, Too Furious, and the Asian guy who played Han in Tokyo Drift. Although I'm going to spoil something about Tokyo Drift. I assume you've seen Tokyo Drift by now if you're a fan of the series. But if you haven't and you wish to, I guess skip a couple seconds because I'm about to spoil something. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay, bam. Han died in Tokyo Drift. And Tokyo Drift came out in 2005, I believe. 2005 or 2006, I'm not really sure. And he is in the opening scene of Fast and Furious, and he's like, I'm gonna go to Tokyo and hit up the racing scene there and see what it's like. So I'm like, alright, you know, Fast and Furious takes place before Tokyo Drift. I guess that's okay, it's a little weird, but you know, whatever. And he's in this film too, and they also make a reference to him eventually going to Tokyo. Like, so this movie takes place in like 2004. I really like this actor. He's probably friends with the director, Justin Lin, because he's also in the director's other film called Better Luck Tomorrow, and it's a really good film. It's about a bunch of Asian high school students doing drugs and stuff, and I definitely recommend it. It's really underrated, and he's really good in it. I really like that actor. I really like that character, but it doesn't really make sense, but, you know, whatever. Would make sense for Lucas Black to be in it, which is the main character in Tokyo Drift. He didn't die. Not a big complaint, it's just confusing. But, you know, that isn't the only thing that doesn't really make sense in these movies, believe it or not. Do not remind yourself of the laws of physics while watching this movie. I am sorry. It just doesn't matter. Like I was saying, it's not just action. There's also actually a good amount of good humor in this movie, something that the second one definitely failed at. Like, Tyrese was really unlikable in the second one. He's actually really likable and funny in this one. Some of the humor does fail. Some of the dialogue is just awful and takes itself too seriously. In some scenes, I couldn't really tell if it was taking itself seriously or poking fun at it. The scene where an officer goes up to Dwayne Johnson and says, I have some good news and I have some bad news. And Dwayne Johnson goes, you know I like my dessert first. So the guy tells him the good news. Then Dwayne Johnson goes, all right, time for the dang vegetables. Some of the dialogue sucks. Some of it is just straight up corny. Like, it does have some genuine scenes. It does have some touching scenes. You know, like I said, the characters are likable. They have good chemistry. How many scenes do we honestly need of Vin Diesel talking about how they're a family and families stick together? It does have some dragging points. There are some scenes that just go on for a long period of time, just don't really go anywhere. But I did like the story. The heist does fit in there well. Dwayne Johnson fits in there well. It all has a good flow and consistency to it. You know, it starts off like in a complete different direction, and then, you know, cause and effect, and bam, they're robbing this police station. A bunch of different forms of action are displayed, and all the action scenes are very well done. That's why people want to see these movies. This movie delivers the goods. Like I said, it does have a lot of flaws. It could have been better, but I did really, really enjoy it. It's really entertaining, a swift 2 hours. I do recommend it if you like these kind of movies. If you don't like the others, if you don't like action movies of this kind, I don't get why you'd see it. Don't get why you'd be watching this video. So yeah, check it out if you do like these movies. It's a really good one in terms of mindless, overblown action films. The final action sequence, you know, the epic vault, is amazing. It's worth the ticket price. It is ridiculous. The film just overall has this just likable, fun, audience-pleasing quality to it. It's fun to be in the theater while everyone's hooting and hollering and cheering and clapping. You know, it's a good time. Overall, going to give it an 8 out of 10. Now it's time for me to shave!